everyone. Happy October to you. It is Halloween season and Moody and I are both very, very excited for it. Yay! I absolutely love Halloween. I love the fall. It's my favorite time of year. So I'm in New England celebrating. It's cold and chilly, but I'm ready for it because I absolutely love the fall. Yay! So with October and us talking all about different emotions, I thought that the best emotion we could possibly talk about for October is fear, right? For scary movies and for scary skeletons and haunted houses and all that kind of stuff. So I thought this was the greatest time to work on our emotion, fear. So what is fear and why do we have fear? Fear is an emotion that tells us that we may be in physical harm, we may die, or a loved one may die. So physically, it's to be scared of something that could happen to us bodily or emotionally or some way that could harm us. It's also a fear of what's to come. Sometimes people have dread because they don't want the week to start or they don't want to take a test, something like that. So fear is a very valid emotion that lets us know that we need to step back and figure out if it's a valid emotion for that particular circumstance. Sometimes we have fear for something that makes us sad, that kind of thing. So it's a good thing to sit back and look at your emotions and make sure, does this feeling fit with this circumstance? Also, fear is one of those emotions that can be a primary emotion that gets jumped to a secondary emotion. And this is what happens to me all the time. I will get afraid of something and then I automatically go to anger. And it's just the way that my brain thinks is the best way to fight the primary emotion, or to get out there and to get ahead of that primary emotion. So there's lots of different ways that we feel scared, we feel fear. One of the things I wanted to bring up today is there's a really great way of figuring out what type of fear you are feeling, if it's mild or if it's really intense. And there's something that I do often, actually, and I think it's a great thing to sit down and do with kids, is that I pick out the words that mean the emotion. So it can range from, with fear, it could range from, like anxious to hysterical, or, just words in between that can really tell you what you're feeling in that moment. It can also tell others how you feel in that moment so that they can also react and maybe help you through that. So I put together, this is just a short list of fear words. And so I put a bunch of them together with Moody on top here. So I picked, these are not the only words for being scared or fear. Absolutely not. These are just some that people feel on a regular basis, right? So we have jumpy, we have anxious, dread, horrified, tense, worried, uneasy, hysterical, fearful, shocked, frightened, and nervous. So these are just some of the words. And maybe you don't use these words at all. Like some people would use petrified. I'm petrified right now. Or, I'm feeling something other than these words, something that you say all the time that tells you you're scared, right? So just a couple of these words. So what I normally do, and this happens when I'm going through a difficult time, if I'm going through symptoms from my PTSD, in my depression, I will sit down when I'm feeling a certain emotion and I'll try to figure out what emotion, how tense that emotion could be, right? how intense or how mild it could be and where it is on my scale. Okay, so this is a scale. Let me pick this away. This is a scale that goes from 1 to 10 with 5 in the middle. And what I do is I will rate my different words to be on, from 1, which is mild, to 10, which is seriously intense. So what I'll do is I'll pick a word that feels very, lightly scared, if you could say that. I picked uneasy. And then my top pick is hysterical. Like, I'm way out there. I'm out of control, scared. I just want to run and hide and go away as quickly as possible. Now, in between there, I have different words that will also mean different fear words. And so when I'm looking at this and I start placing like 5, like anxious is like a 5 to 6. Nervous is sitting somewhere at 4. Then I get up to frightened and horrified up at like 7 and 8. And then hysterical for my 10. So I think that this is like a great way to sit down with kids and first pick out the words that they feel means the emotion, which is scared. Write them all down. And then make yourself this sliding scale of how they feel. If you say the word uneasy, where does it sit for them? Whatever words they choose here, you want to use them on here. And when you say the word, you ask them, how does that feel? Does it feel like it's not very scary at all? Or does it mean that you're really so scared you just want to run and hide? So I hope this helps. I have other great ways to work with dealing with the emotion fear because it's a big one for me. Again, as I say, I usually move from fear to anger very quickly because that's a coping mechanism that I learned during childhood. And I am to this day working towards other ways of handling my fear. And I hope that as I do this, I can share it with all of you so that you can use it for yourself, which I think is very, very important. That we sit back and we realize, what is it that I feel in this moment and where is it on my scale? And how am I going to react to that particular intensity? So if you have any questions or comments, I would love, love, love to hear them. And I want to know what you guys want to hear about this whole month, this fear month, Halloween month. And I can't wait to show you guys more things. Tomorrow I'm coming back and I am going to be reading another book. It'll be Moody Story Time. So please join me tomorrow. Bring the kiddos and listen in on another book about big feelings. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.